What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast. All right, Andre, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, been busy all this week, but I'm doing okay.
Yep. It's been one of those weeks. Yeah, and I do realize that it is Memorial Day weekend, and I do apologize. Normally we take the weekend off, but I'm gonna be honest, I've completely forgot quarantine. So
I don't think anybody's gonna get mad about it. They'll be
yeah,
like, whatever. It's a video I can watch.
yeah. I mean, it's we've been days are running together now. So I mean, hey, sorry, but
Everything's just sliding together like one
yeah.
steady stream.
Yeah, so I will say I do apologize for that. But Nintendo did me a solid this week and did not release anything. So, and the gaming world did me a solid this week and did not release anything. So
They didn't release anything that you know of.
that I know of, yeah. Shit. But so we're going to be able to go back to our Legend of Zelda talk. So this is going to be a Zelda discussion. And this time we're going to be taking a look, since a lot of people love Princess Zelda. They love her a lot. And they've been clamoring that she needs her own game because women, diversity.
I want to preface that with a lot of people love Zelda but know nothing about her.
These are facts.
Like I'm not going to say that name because it's a cursed name, so I'm not going to repeat it. But
she don't even like her. She don't even like her.
She likes the image of her, but she don't like the character because she doesn't. Again, she don't understand the character.
She didn't play the games. She claims she did. And y'all know who we talking about if you've been in the game.
All that wasted money. I'm sorry, I could have put that money to better use. I'd be like, hold on, I'm gonna give me a capture card. I got all these like y'all giving me money to get all these games. I got a capture card. Oh yeah, I will damn sure play every one of these games and show you I played them.
She ain't played shit. But
you would see me with the controller in my hand and not that bull where you grab the controller and just doing this.
Yeah, just do that. And everybody know you're not playing nothing.
Well, you ain't playing nothing doing that.
Ubisoft 2014 E3. So
like, look, when you really playing the game, the motion in your hand stops to match up with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, doing all that, I'm just all over the place. That you ain't doing nothing.
No, you're really not. But yeah, people they've been wanting a game where Zelda is playable because you know what, Link is a man and we hate men. So
I mean, the messed up part is about the series. You could actually say that because Link is always forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like if you know anything about the Legend of Zelda series, there's a reason why nobody ever remembers Link. They don't even remember his name. They call him the hero clad in green. They don't know his name. That's bad. That is straight up messed up. But it's really messed up. But the thing is, in Ocarina of Time, there is the midway point between the games, the child story and the adult story. Well, Link was asleep 7 years. We don't know what happened. All we know is Impa got Zelda out of that castle before Ganon went on a killing spree.
Like minutes before. It's like minutes before it happened. You see them bolting out of the castle. And he turned around like, oh, hold up. What did you get here?
Yeah. Right. Hey, I'm 10 years old. I ain't scared of you, grown 45-year-old man. Yeah. Needless to say, it didn't end well for young Link. So, so this, what the idea behind this is, we can finally give the spinoff and actually give people a game in which you get to play as Zelda. You get to see her training as a Sheikah. Because here's the thing that I'm going to explain to people. Yes. Yeah, spoilers for a 20-plus-year-old game if you haven't played Ocarina of Time. But the reason why Zelda looks like and the reason why Zelda won't let anybody touch her, because that was an optical illusion. If somebody would have touched her, the illusion would have vanished. So, for this game, I was thinking like, okay, basically what you can do is you can do it in a number of ways. You can the best thing for me the way I think of it is you could do it twofold: either side scrolling beat 'em up or action RPG. And the reason I say action RPG is because you're gonna need to set up her magic because she would have been learning magic during this time. So you got to remember because Zelda's 10 as well, so she has to be learning magic and she's gonna have to learn how to fight. Because if you played any of the other games, especially Hyrule Warriors, which I think screwed it up for everybody because they let you play as Sheik, as Zelda, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Queen Zelda is the best character on Hyrule Warriors in my opinion, hands down. But you can actually now, do that and have her take on Sheikah type missions to like not exactly I guess you can't say kind of. You can probably say kind of help Link when he comes back, like set things
Get
up.
stuff prep for him. Yeah.
Like have her visit a bunch of the dungeons and have her like do certain tasks that actually wind up helping him because she knows that he's gonna wake up at some point. Mm-hmm. Have her meet with Rayru the Sage. Have her make it where you have like her and Impa actually have like because that way you can do a co-op if you want to throw that in there. And just have it play between the both of them. Have it where you could go between Warrior Queen Zelda and Ninja Zelda for stealth, Sheik Zelda for stealth missions and stuff like that. I mean, that's what I was thinking initially. And you can do it and set it up to happen where it happens like each chapter will be a year of the 7 years. Have like 7 chapters, 7 years.
Yeah, that could work.
And at the end of it, that's when Link wakes up.
I could see that working out. I was thinking more just focusing on the stealth aspect of it because of the fact that she's using illusionary magic, not trying to be caught.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, taking the action route too would be a good way to go with it. Like if they could break it up where you did do like particular stealth missions and they had the action segments, that'd be cool. Because like everybody would get bored if it was just stealth. But having this set up so that she could, like, say for like the forest temple or spirit temple, like sneaking in, setting up artifacts where they need to be for Link to be able to get to them, stuff of that nature, or unlocking certain things so that when Link gets there, he doesn't have as much work to do.
Yeah, because that's one thing I've always liked about the series is that like there's no way. Yeah, I like Link. Link is cool and everything. He's not an idiot, but
no, he's not dumb.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm like, dude, you have to have a little bit of help from somebody. That's why I like Skyward Sword so much because they basically straight up told you Zelda and Impa was helping him. Like he wasn't doing this by himself. Like he good, he ain't that good.
He can't figure all the puzzles out.
Yeah, so he has to have a little bit of help. I'm like, yeah, he's courageous, but the thing is, like, courage can only get you so far. So you got to have a little bit of help. And I like the fact that, like, even though they don't really show Zelda do stuff in the game, like most of the time, if you pay attention to the story, she's doing stuff throughout the entire story. I mean, one of the main complaints about Twilight Princess was all she did was just sit up in that castle. I'm like, you do realize that if she didn't do it, like she was going to fight Zant.
Oh, she would have killed him.
She was going to kill him. But the problem was Zant was like, hey, you can kill me. I can't beat you. I already know that. But what you going to do about all them people outside?
They're like, look, the second I'm gone, your people gone.
Yeah. And they ain't coming back. So.
And on top of that, if she had acted on that before Link got to where he needed to be, Link would have been dead.
Yeah. So there's a reason why she has the Triforce of Wisdom in her hand. There's a reason for that. But I like
people don't want to get that.
Yeah. I like, but that's the thing. Like a lot of people, I hate that to say it like this, but I think like some people just don't have good reading comprehension or story comprehension skills because you're like, dude, they tell you exactly what is going on. Like Breath of the Wild. She's been holding back Ganon for 100 years by herself.
By herself.
Like it could have been a whole lot worse for the people of Hyrule.
Oh yeah, it could have been.
They could have been overran. She held them back. She held that mug back for 100 years. And the time this lazy dude woke up,
can't call him lazy. Well, we can't call him lazy. He was deceased.
Yeah, actually deceased. This ain't Skyward Sword where he was actually just sleeping all over the place. This dude was actually dead. Well, technically that is sleeping.
Yeah, that's of
the permanent variety.
A permanent sleep.
No, but I think like that's the thing, and I understand when people say they want to see a game with her as the focal point and her as playable and all that, and I understand that, but I'm like, dude, do y'all not understand the actual story? Do you not understand the story?
A lot of people seem not to.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so let's if we break it down, there is games where you can actually show it, and this is one of them because, like I said, that nobody's ever talked about what happened in 7 years. You wake up in that game when you pull the Master Sword out and you're knocked out. You see Ganon walk in and like, thank you for opening the door, you dumbass.
He's like, oh, I knew you had the treasures. Yeah. Bravo, Link. Bravo.
You dumb idiot.
But now I'm gonna go claim my prize. But what he didn't expect was for the Triforce to split up on him.
Yeah, he didn't expect that. Which is, and we talked about this on the after party offline last week after the podcast about that breaking up and what I think it actually could mean. Because I think Hylia set that mess up.
Look,
it was always supposed to break up.
See, that's the one thing. Like, they got the other three goddesses, but they represent. Well, I guess Hylia would be the overall goddess that represents all three of the facets of the Triforce when it's complete. Mm-hmm. So that's Din and
Furore and Nehru.
Yeah. So I was about to say I can never remember the forest goddess. I can never remember.
They only really talk about them in 3 games, and 2 of them are Game Boy games.
Yeah, and those 2 games they focus more on Nehru and Din.
Yeah, they don't even talk about Furore that much. So, yeah, but the reason why I brought that up is because like the way they made it seem, especially like in later things, like, yeah, dude, it was always set to break up. Like, I don't think it was actually meant for one person to actually get their wish. I think it was always meant for when the time came, the 3 people that were chosen, whoever touched it, it was going to break anyway. Because the whole purpose of the Triforce is you have to be in complete balance to even touch. And you're like, hold up, nobody is in complete. Nobody is, not even Link. Because remember, Link, he has moments where he gets angry. Twilight Princess,
Wind Waker.
Bro, like he has gotten like angry to the point where like, okay, fine, I'll just kill all y'all.
And then like, even if you were to consider even the Link that you don't play with the original hero, where he was fighting Demise, because I don't think that was a calm and collected battle. He had to have been like pissed off to stalemate him, even if he died.
Because at that point, Link just didn't care. Because they tried to kill Zelda in front of him. I'm like, dude, that whole last sequence, that whole last 20-minute sequence, where you had to run a gauntlet just to get to him, I'm like, okay, yeah, this. Because at first they made you think that Link was just this in love puppy. Like, nah, Link is still Link. So
it was like, oh, we getting down to the home stretch. Like, look, man, all I want to do is bring her back home.
That's all.
You getting in my way? Okay.
It's just me. It's just space and opportunity. Like, because the way the actual fight goes, like, there's a cutscene where Link just stops, turns around, and look. Oh, all y'all gonna get in the way? Y'all can all die. Y'all can all die.
It was like one of the moments. He's like, man, look, I was trying to leave y'all alone. I was trying to give you an opportunity to run. But I see. I'm just going to have to end some life right now.
Yeah. So I was thinking, and I'm like, okay, well, if the Triforce was always meant to break, but nobody knew that, because once again, now after you play Breath of the Wild, it's clear that Demise is breaking out of that freaking Master Sword. It's clear that that's what he's doing. So, okay, maybe that was always meant to happen.
It was one of those things where it was inevitable. Like,
Yeah.
in sealing him away was just a tactic to buy time.
Yeah, because they're not sure. Demise, Link wasn't gonna be able to kill him. He wasn't gonna be able to kill him.
There was no way he was going to be able to kill him.
Like, because he's not a freaking god. He's a mortal. He's just a mortal person. He's not a god. And Hylia, she can't kill him just off weird reasoning. But because I guess it's kind of
I
the
guess
whole
you say she's just not. I wouldn't say she couldn't, but I think it would be at the expenditure of herself if she did. She'd have to go down with him.
Yeah, basically, like the whole what's that whole notion that you can't have good without evil because for balance and all that stuff. So that's what I would think that would be the reason. But he still has to be contained / stopped. So that's why I think like and like I said, I could be overthinking this, but the way the story goes and the way I interpret it is Ganondorf ain't always been evil. He's just doing what a king has to do. It was him. He was chosen to be the bearer of power because he's the one with the most magic knowledge. I love Zelda, but she's not on a magical scale. Ganon has more magic power than she does.
Yeah.
He just does.
I'd just say if you were to compare the two, Zelda is definitely, if we were to say just on character basis, yeah, she's strong. She can get close to him, but Zelda's more a strategist than she is a fighter.
Yeah. And Link is
good for setting up the plans.
Yeah, Link is the more of the fighter. Ganon is kind of like a mix of the two, kind of. He just has overwhelming power, basically, because that's just how he was. That's just how he was born. The way they describe him was he was born that strong, which makes no sense. Which literally makes no sense. Like he is like how we used to trip about him in Hyrule Warriors 3 talking about Super Saiyan 3 again.
Look, the hairstyle fits.
Yeah. Because this is to go even further beyond. Like, okay, Ganon, you crazy. So yeah. So bringing it back to like the whole 7-year thing. Now here's the question. Like, do you in that game if they were to make that, do you delve into a little bit more of those Sheikah stones?
Oh, I would.
A little more nuggets
I
to it.
Would. Because Link got the perspective of learning what happened around Hyrule.
Mm-hmm.
But I think having Zelda deal with it, she could learn the more intimate details of the inner workings of Hyrule from them rather than just what Link got. Because, I mean, Link doesn't necessarily need to know all of the inner workings.
No, he
it's
doesn't.
Good for him to have an idea of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't necessarily need to know the background to everything. He just has to know, okay, these are the people I'm fighting for. This is what I'm protecting. But these are some of the things that may have caused the problem that I have to deal with.
In the first place. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And plus that actually give a good time to go into the Sheikah a little bit more, into the Sheikah history. Once again, that artwork that Rare had, I'm like, Nintendo, come on, man. Y'all need to go back to that. Because I don't know what they was coming up with, but that looked fire. I don't know what they was coming up with.
It did. It definitely did.
So, but that's a good way to actually go into, probably introduce more of the history of the Sheikah. And on top of that, who in the hell in the royal family betrayed them? Because I'm like, you got to be you got to be stupid to betray them.
Them betrayed them, and then you go pick a fight with the Gerudo.
Yeah, like you especially slow. Like, so I mean, because I would actually love like part of that game. I would actually have her infiltrate the Gerudo, and so we can learn more about them, because they're not like the Ocarina of Time kind of paints them in kind of like a weird spot.
It puts them in a weird spot, but it's more of a they're stuck where they have to be. It's not where they want
to be. Yeah,
they're doing things they're basically forced to do
for survival purposes.
Yeah,
basically. And because I think like Breath of the Wild has the best depiction of the Gerudo, honestly. I think they have, even though some of that stuff is actually hilarious with like them taking dating classes and stuff, like that's freaking funny to me. But because you have all these strong warrior women that like they are, for lack of a better term, they're intimidating to a point, to an extent, because they have to protect themselves, protect their way of life. So basically, the majority of them are warriors. Period. Like you're not gonna run up on them because you're gonna get dealt with. You're gonna get dealt with. Yeah, it's not going. It's not going to end. In the words of our good friend Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, this won't end the way you think if you run up on them. So I think that gives the best depiction. But Ocarina of Time only gave the depiction of, okay, first they kidnap men and basically kidnap men so they can procreate. Basically, that's me putting it nicely. I'm not trying to be nasty. That's what they do. But they also don't steal, according to Neighboru, who was actually the sage of spirit. Before Ganondorf was born, they didn't rob from women and children. They only robbed from the rich. So it's kind of like, so you're not bad guys, but you're not exactly good guys either, because you're kidnapping dudes basically to.
Because they don't know how to talk to them.
Yeah, can you say the R word with this? Because that's essentially what they're doing.
I mean, you could say it, but I don't trust.
Yeah, it's a, because they're basically taking it from Greek mythology, what Amazons did. Because like in Greek mythology, Amazons would kidnap sailors and basically force them to have sex so they can get pregnant. They either would, depending on what version of mythology you read, they either killed them or they just sent them back on their way. And if they had a girl, the girl would stay with the Amazons. If they had a boy, they would send it back they would take it to the gates of the city of the boat that it came from. So if, say, there was a boat from Athens, they would, kidnap the guys off of it, get it on, have Barry White and Luther Vandross, Little Luther, not Big Luther, singing in the background, and then they send them back on their way. They send them back on their way, and had a boy, they'd send the boy back and just leave him at the gates. And, so that was kind of like a take on that. Now, what the Amazons did, that was pretty much rape. When you read it in mythology, that's pretty much what it was. But Greek mythology was, they was on chain.
It's kind of all over the place.
It was all over the place. But the Gerudo, it was kind of like they were trying to, they would try to like talk to, but they wouldn't cooperate. So they just like, okay, fine, we're just gonna kidnap you, throw you in the cell until we're ready for you. Like, okay, that's kind of messed up. But in Breath of the Wild, it was like, in Breath of the Wild, it was, because if you go, and it's easy to miss, but if you go to one of the back alleys, there's a class where they are teaching Gerudo women how to be romantic, which is freaking hilarious. Because you see all these fit women just like sitting in there with spears. Like, okay, first of all, spear needs to go.
Like, look, this classroom, the atmosphere in the classroom is just wrong.
Yeah. Which I think that's Nintendo just having a little fun with it. I think that's Nintendo.
I mean, but you would think about it with people that don't know how to socially interact with other people. Yeah. They're not going to know what's appropriate to bring to even the discussion of learning about what they need to do to be socially interactive. So it fits.
And another thing about Breath of the Wild, there are 2 side quests that involve you trying to hook up a Gerudo with a Hylian, and it is hilarious. It is so funny. Like, I did that just because I wanted to see what it was. And I'm like, dude, this had me rolling, because the Gerudo one was like, nah, he need to come tell me what he had to do. He's like, he wants to talk to her, but he's scared because, like, she's like 6 feet tall. He's like 5'3". so like, bro, this dude is a farmer. This is a freaking farmer. And then there's another side quest. Well, the other side quest is actually pretty fun, helping out, get that village started, and that's one of them. But that one was more even because that dude wasn't scared of her. The other side quest was just funny because the dude was scared of her, but he liked her, but he was still scared of her.
He's like, look, like I want to talk to her. I just don't want to be beheaded. So I mean, can you work this out for me?
I don't want to say the wrong thing.
And like I don't want to offend
speared.
her and then get a spear through my heart.
Yeah.
I would like to live after this encounter.
Yeah. So I would like to see that. Like if they were able to do that, have like a couple missions where she goes and infiltrates the Gerudo just to and she learns certain texts. That's another thing too. Like have Zelda visit those other peoples in Ocarina of Time world. That way she can learn from each of them. That's how she learns. That's how she learns the songs from the Gorons. That's how she learns from the Zora. Have her before Zora get frozen over. Zora's domain get frozen over. Once again, spoilers for a 22-year-old game. So
I mean, it would make sense for her. It would make sense for her to do that, like to go to the different locations that Link ends up going to. Because I mean, she had to learn those songs from somewhere, so she had to have found. She either had to have found the text that show those songs, or show the notes of the songs, and tell what the purpose of them is, or she had to find out from someone directly.
Which makes sense.
It's one of the two.
Yeah. Which I think could work. Like you could have it go like both ways. Like you could have it where she meets somebody that actually shows her, and then you have some of them like when Link went into that tomb and saw it the composer brother inscribed on the damn thing. So on the cemetery head. So I mean on the gravestone. I mean. So yeah, you can have it like that. Now the question is, how would you do the visual style for this? Because here's the thing: while I'm partial to Ocarina of Time's visuals, I have been in love with the cell shade stuff since Skyward Sword. So I like the Breath of the Wild engine.
Honestly, I would go with the styling, art style wise. It's more like Skyward Sword, but I'd make it darker and more gritty looking, like Twilight Princess.
But without the haze, because that haze.
Yeah, without the haze. Yeah, without
got
the
on my
haze.
freaking nerves. That haze got on my damn nerves.
That was because of system limitations.
Yeah, like, and I knew that, but it was just like, dude, god damn, man, why does this look like a Christopher Nolan film? So, Christopher Nolan presents Legend of Zelda. Michael Caine gonna show up. Michael Caine and Ellen Page gonna show up at some point.
don't. Oh man, don't get Hollywood no ideas on this. None.
Too late.
Gonna have one of the worst representations of the Legend of Zelda ever.
Christian Bale is Zant. And have him cuss out a grip. Yes, I will never let that go. I will never let it go. He shouldn't have did that. Shoot, punk. Anyway, sorry, I got off topic. So, but yeah, I would, I don't mind. You know what? Nah, remember that WWE that Wii U tech demo that they did.
Yeah. That would actually be a good art style for it.
Yeah. And the reason why I say that probably because we're talking about Ocarina of Time. So the Ocarina of Time, as much as I love the Breath of the Wild style, I think since we're talking about Ocarina of Time game, it should be in the Ocarina of Time looking visual style.
Yeah.
That way it won't, But yeah, but if they could do it like they did that Wii U tech demo where Link fights Queen Goma
fighter.
Yeah, the Goma Queen. If they do it like that, that would work. Now,
that would look really good.
Now, as for bosses, should she fight Link level bosses, or should she fight like more intimate level bosses? Kind of like.
I mean, I think for intensity, if you were like to have bigger battles, then get Link level bosses, but not all of them should be that difficult. I'd
Gotcha.
say like have some of them where stealth is the way to actually beat the boss. Where you get caught, you're dead.
Okay.
But
Well, for those like
conceptually,
stealth levels, like say like a Gerudo level, like when they find out who she is,
mm,
because we got to remember during the 7 years, like they were well, they weren't fully under Ganondorf's control. But if you have Twin Rava there, you can have Twin Rava there
yeah.
because
If
they
she
were
find out, that's it.
yeah,
Curtain.
and that way you know what, that would be dope because that way you can actually use that for the stealth portion of it because they figure out who it is and Zelda has to make a quick escape.
Yeah.
So that's why you
Like
get like a mix of
let
stealth
it
and
be stealth all the way up until the point where she gets what she needs, and then they're like, "Oh, okay,
now I know
I
who
know who
you are.
you are."
And
And you just see explosions of fire and ice all over the place,
yeah,
and Zelda
Zelda has
running
to get
for
out.
her life.
Yeah, and have her that way you can have her use her Sheikah training to get out of that situation.
That would have to be something that would be like later on into the game because you wouldn't want that to be one of the first missions.
No, no.
Because just for the sake of the story, like it wouldn't make sense for her to be able to escape that early on. Like, but like closer toward like say the end of this, say either the end of the fifth or the sixth chapter of it.
Yeah,
If that's what we're going to do, then yeah, that would make sense.
yeah, because I think the best way to do it story wise would be one chapter for every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like her first two chapters would have her being like, okay, she's in training, she's not really doing nothing. Like
Yeah.
especially without Impa, she's not doing anything. She's not doing anything without Impa in the first three or
Nah,
four chapters. No.
I'd say towards like the
Now
first chapter. That's
the seventh chapter, Impa don't need to be there. Impa needs
no,
to be like, because that'll be what Impa says. Okay, we got to go our separate ways just in case I get caught.
mm-hmm.
That way
That
he
way
can't
you don't
find you.
get caught. Yeah.
Yeah, and have it where okay, now at this point in time, she knows she didn't talk to Rayru. She knows that Link is about to wake up because now it's about time his body's matured enough. So I'm gonna go make sure I set everything up for because I got all the songs that have it where she needs one more song to get and do it like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would start it off so that the Forest Temple would be one of her first missions.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean because that's literally the first one that you have to go to as Link anyway, so it would just match up well for the continuity.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the first places she has to go, and that would be where Impa starts most of her training. Like
And
showing her everything.
now, do you have her meet some of the sages and have it where
I wouldn't
have
have
it
her
where she
necessarily.
puts them to sleep or something like that till Link gets there? Have it
Well,
where she did it?
they were kind of already asleep anyway before all this happened, so I wouldn't have her necessarily meet
Do,
all of them.
but have her meet a couple of them just to be
I would have her come across
at least the
Saria.
Runian. At least the
I'd have her
Runian.
come across the Runia and Saria. At the
Yeah.
very least, she'd probably talk to the two of them.
Oh, and Rutu.
Every
And
and
Rutu.
Rutu
Yeah.
and Rutu.
But
But
the rest of
so that
okay.
everybody else she'll see them
Yeah.
and know who they are, but she wouldn't interact with them because yeah, and then she couldn't do with
Neighborhood, she wouldn't be
yeah,
able to talk to
she
anymore.
could not talk to her because I mean not because Neighborhood would be hostile to her because obviously she wouldn't, but it's just the
That's
look
when
of
she well, and plus that's when Neighborhood gets brainwashed. Oh, you know what you could do? Have
that would technically be right before she gets brainwashed. So she
yeah
doesn't get brainwashed until after Link gets into the is it Spirit Temple?
into the spirit temple.
Yeah.
Well, remember she gets caught. She gets caught when he's a kid. She gets caught.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So what you could do is you could have her be the boss of have the dark because she was encased in the dark nut. Have her be the boss of the Gerudo chapter when she's escaping. Have it
Actually, yeah, that would
have
make
it have like where Twin Rob is chasing her, but by the time she gets to the boss's room, that's where you can have that way you don't have to one shot kill
mm,
fight. So you can actually have an action fight.
yeah.
And have it where she like knocks the helmet off. She starts to remember who she is, and Twin Rava comes. She has to make it. Neighbor who helps Zelda escape, and that's when they re-brainwash her.
Actually, yeah, that works.
Yeah,
That will work.
but Zelda gets away with what she needs.
Yeah.
See, man, we just made it. Man, we just made a game. God dang it.
Wait, but I could see her like, especially going to the Gorons because they're not particularly friendly with the Hylians, but they're not negative to them. So I can see her going up there talking
And
to
Darunia
Darunia.
wouldn't be, Darunia wouldn't be an asshole about it. To be
Like,
honest,
like once she mentions Leak, I'm like, oh, my brother.
yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah, we can talk.
yeah, basically, yeah. Now come give me a hug. Oh hell no.
It was like, nah, like look, Leak can hug you. I ain't doing that. I want my tact.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you talking about my little human brother there? Okay, yeah, we can. What you need? What you need?
Because the way they made it seem like he straight up told, the way they made it seem with Darunia is like basically when Ganon took over, Ganon came to talk to him. He pretty much gave Ganon the bird.
He's like, nah, I don't trust you, bro.
No, bro.
I don't know nothing about you.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
All right, I'm just gonna lock you in this cell and make this dragon eat you. I don't care. Okay.
Like, he was still sitting there fighting them too.
Still talking trash. What you think this is, cuz? You blood of cuz. Like what? Wait, what? Getting be confused like a boy. Like, what the?
There is room for comedy in this.
Yeah, you gotta have a little bit of it in it. You gotta have a little bit because, like,
look, man, like look, go ahead, throw me in here, but once this dragon done, coming after you.
Yeah. Don't worry. He have Darunia sitting in the cell. I'll be seeing you.
Walk out. He's just like, look, I ain't got nothing to say to him. I'm just walk away.
This dude is crazy. He is insane. Like, don't he know he about to be food for a dragon? He's still talking. He's still back there talking trash. So yeah, and that's how I would like. That's how I would probably like end the chapters. In the chapter with like especially like the Goron chapter, have it end with Ganondorf throwing Darunia in that jail cell. Because remember when Link goes to the Fire Temple, it's like 10 of them in well, not 10, probably about 8 of the Gorons in cells waiting to get eaten. Essentially,
yeah, that's right. Because they're basically being set up for it.
Yeah. So you can have it where like,
well, no, wasn't it that the Gorons were captured and Darunia went there afterwards to try to stop them from being eaten?
Yeah, and he lost, and they had him thrown in. Because remember, he's in the last cell.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's in the last cell. So he's in the cell too. So it's one of those situations where you're like, okay, you can have it where the stuff sets up for what happens when Link wakes up.
Yeah. I was just I'm trying to recall events, but yeah, because it's been a while since I played Ocarina.
Now the whole thing with Zora's domain freezing over, that's going to be kind of hard to do because that should happen like a year or two before he wakes up, I guess.
Yeah, but you could always have Zelda go talk to the king before all that happens.
Yeah. And just have it like that, because the way I see it, the story would be kind of mostly sad, but mostly joyous. Because like it'll be sad because the stuff that's going to be happening it has to happen, but it'll be joyous because at the end you know who wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you know who wakes up, and you know he wins.
Yeah, but like I could just think of the interesting, weird interaction that Zelda have with Ruto. She'd be like,
"Oh yeah,"
be like, hold on. It's like you're what to Link?
Well, I gave him the Zora Sapphire. Yeah, but he can't marry. How would y'all even?
Like I could see just the stare down happening because
the confusion.
Zelda being confused and Ruto looking there like you trying to take what I claimed.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Link has no idea what's going on because Link is the perfect anime male character that does not realize.
Oblivious.
Yeah, it's completely oblivious to what. Oh, well, Zelda just told me to go get the Zora Sapphire. Just skip the fact that it's an engagement ring too. I don't really care about that. She just told me to go get
about it. He ain't think nothing of it. Just like she be like, "Hold, I don't."
Yeah, more bits of comedy, and then you can play off the whole Mifa thing too, because by this time everybody been to play Breath of the Wild, so they already know about Mifa.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
felt so bad for Mifa.
Just try and get Link to.
I felt so bad for Mifa. I was like, yeah, he oblivious, girl. He oblivious, girl.
Look, he nice. He's like, I'm being nice, but I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the funny thing about it is, like, Link don't. The way they made it seem like Link don't even look at Zelda like that. Link doesn't look at Zelda like that because that's just basically Link's in the Secret Service and that's his job.
Yeah, he just worried about getting his job done.
Yeah, like he don't see Zelda like that. Mifa thinks he sees Zelda like that. Or Bosa's trying to play matchmaker. Or Bosa's trying to play mama and be matchmaker. Meanwhile, Link just like, okay, I got a job to do. I'm assigned to the princess. That's my assignment. Make sure she stays safe.
This is my job, man. This is how I make my rupees.
Yeah.
Look, I gotta keep a roof over my head too.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically. That's another thing that I actually liked about this particular game. Like, when you actually set up and you look at it, like each different version of Link and Zelda, they all have a different relationship. Each and every one of them have a different relationship. Like, the only one that we know for a fact that they were an item was Skyward Sword. Them two were.
Yeah.
The rest of them.
They obviously were.
Obvious. I mean, like, hell, she tried to kill him in the first 10 minutes of the game. Go get the bird.
He's like, look, he was like, hold on, I'm calling him.
He ain't where the hell is he at? Why you keep playing? Go.
Did she realize what was happening? Like, oh, she's like, if I don't go get him,
it's gonna be a very bad landing.
That'd be a very short game. Like, what happened to him? He died 10 minutes into the game.
Just be a cutscene.
Like, that's it. Game over. No more Link.
But like, because the Twilight Princess, Link didn't even know who Zelda was. He just knew that was the princess. That's all.
He had his bun in the village. He wasn't worried about her.
Wind Waker, that Link was trying to get his sister back. He could give a damn.
That Link was still too, like, he wasn't even worried about women at the point. He was just like, look, I'm trying to save my sister.
Yeah, this giant bird went and got my sister. Then I find a giant bird, and this dude that's in a dark bathrobe, and like he just got out of the shower, gonna knock me halfway across the world. When I get back to him, he's gonna catch all of this AR-15 and this Toon style hammer I got. So, yeah. Because like the look on Link's face when he got knocked halfway across the world was like, "I'm gonna get you." So yeah, I mean, that one, and then like Breath of the Wild, hell, when you start the first few cutscenes, Zelda hates Link. She ain't got no
purpose for him.
Yeah, she can't. As a matter of fact, it's like pure up hatred. You're like, dang girl, what the hell did he do to you? And then he kind of find out the main reason why she was mad because he wouldn't say nothing. He would just look.
He's like, look, I'm on my job. Like, we ain't gotta socialize.
If you gotta socialize, I gotta make sure that nothing happen to you. Or that's my head.
I mean, he worked with all of the other champions. He socialized with them somewhat.
Well, actually, the way they made it, the way they implied it, the only ones he actually talked to was Mifa and I can't remember the Goron name. God, what the hell is his name? My mind just went blank. The big Goron, him. That's the only way. He didn't talk to Rivali. Well, he wasn't gonna ever talk to Rivali because Rivali is a knockoff on Falco Lombardi. And yeah, and Urbosa, the way they made it seem like he respected Urbosa, but he just didn't say nothing around her. But I like the fact that like in the actual game they explained that yes, he can talk, because after that cutscene where she gets attacked by the Yiga and they were about to kill her and he shows up, she finally started talking to him. They finally started conversing. So it's funny that like the only 3 people he talked to was Mipha, Zelda, and everybody else he didn't talk to. He didn't talk to nobody. I'm like, bruh.
He was to himself.
Yeah, he just did. He literally just did his job.
It's a weird world, but hey, that's what he did.
And so I'm actually kind of mad though that they cut out like his actual diary, because Link actually had a diary in the previous cut of the game and they cut it out. I'm like,
they'll probably bring it back in the second game.
Yeah, so I'm like, y'all should have kept that, because I actually wanted to read what he would have wrote.
They'll probably bring it back.
Just because, like I said, the way they described it was basically like everybody would come to him with their problems, and they would expect him to fix it. So,
oh man,
that's why he stopped talking. Like they was like, look, the reason why he stopped talking was because everybody would come and be like, oh, well, you got the sword, so you go take care of it. Yeah. You see this big line all over here? Yeah. Hey man, you gonna handle it? What?
Plus, it would make sense to help him regain his memories if his diary was in the game.
Yeah, which supposedly it was. They just cut it out. I'm like, yeah, please bring that back, because I actually want to see, because that would actually been an interesting read, especially after you find Zelda's and read hers. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting read. That being said, all that being said, but that brings us to the end of this one. So, what do you guys think about a game set in the Ocarina of Time universe during the 7 years that Link is asleep, where you actually get to play as Impa and Zelda's? Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. Would you rather that be a side-scrolling beat 'em up, a action RPG, a turn-based RPG?
I would say it'd be like an action adventure RPG type game with stealth in it.
Yeah.
It has to cover multiple genres. There's no way it can just
do one. Yeah. And what studio would you like to see work on it? Me personally, I would either go for EAD, Nintendo's team, the Aonuma team, anyway, or Koei Tecmo, or Platinum.
Actually, I'd say a combination of those 3.
Yeah, and the reason why I say Platinum, because come on, them actually, the way I envision some of them cutscenes, I need Platinum doing them. Platinum knows
either them or Team Ninja.
Or Team Ninja, yeah. And Team Ninja, they do good stuff. Like, once again, I know y'all hate other M, but Team Ninja did a good job on the action sequences with their game. Like,
oh yeah,
Team Ninja is not a sucky developer. They're just not. Now,
no, they're not.
They may make questionable decisions when it comes to how their women look in certain jiggle physics, but they are not a crappy. They're not a crappy.
If they're under the proper supervision.
Yeah.
They're under proper supervision, it ain't gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, Dead or Alive 5, Playboy, Dead or Alive 5. So yeah. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching. And just because we probably know stuff will be probably back to normal next week, we will see you guys then. Peace out, people. Wakanda forever.
Peace out, everybody.